I think for me, it sort of formulated and sort of cemented itself a bit in my mind in Namibia about 3 years ago. I love community conservation, and Namibia have been some of the sort of world leaders in community conservation. And for people who don't know what that is, it's effectively the locals, wherever you are in the world, taking an interest in management of the wildlife, nature, the environmental assets around them. So they very much manage them, they protect them, they nurture them for their own prosperity. And for me, that, I came away having met loads of good people there, and I felt really inspired, really energized by what I'd seen. But then coming back to the UK and seeing the headlines around the world, and the media also like to concentrate sometimes on the negativity. And I felt, you're losing people every single time you have those headlines. We all get that there's a really big urgent message, and I'm not saying we shouldn't talk about the urgency or the big issues. But ultimately, if we want to tackle this, if we want to get on the front foot, we've got to bring people with us. And people have got to feel like there's hope, there's a chance we can fix this. Now I've got children as well, and speaking to other parents, it's a bit of a cliche, but you do start to see the world differently. And I want the things that I've enjoyed, the outdoor life and the sort of nature and the environment, I want that to still be there for not just my children, but everyone else's children. And if we're not careful, we're robbing from our children's future, what we do now. And I think that's not fair. And so I'm trying to use my little bit of influence, my little bit of profile to highlight some incredible people doing amazing things and will genuinely help fix some of these problems. It's been a hard road for him. My grandfather started off helping out WWF a long time ago with its nature work and biodiversity. And I think that my father's sort of progressed that on and talked about climate change a lot more very early on before anyone else thought it was a topic. So yes, he's had a really rough ride on that. And I think he's been proven to have been well ahead of the curve, well beyond his time in warning about some of these dangers. But it shouldn't be that there's a third generation now coming along having to ramp it up even more. And for me, it'd be an absolute disaster if George is sat here talking to you or your successor, Adam, in another 30 years' time, whatever, still saying the same thing, because by then we'll be too late. We are seeing a rise in climate anxiety. Young people now are growing up where their futures are basically being threatened the whole time. It's very unnerving, and it's very anxiety-making. We need some of the world's greatest brains and minds fixed on trying to repair this planet, not trying to find the next place to go and live.